Founder Laerun, and I'm going to build a level 5 Human Variant Moon Druid, or Circle of the Moon. This is going to be a female, and she looks like an elf, but she's actually going to be a human variant. She's wearing a moon mask right now, and this is kind of like her background photo. So we'll get started. Also, just a reminder that if you want to learn how to use Fantasy Grounds, visit our community called Fantasy Grounds College. We're not affiliated with the other Smiteworks, but we do have a good relationship with them. So if you want to learn and join us, figure out how to use the program, or just find a game or something, come on over and we'll try to help you as best we can. Lady Shell is going to be in the chat briefly, and she has already put out a tweet about this, and hopefully this will teach you guys how to build a higher level detailed variation of the druid. So yes, Lady Shell will be here for about an hour, so I'll get started. Okay, so I already have the character sheet up. Here's a graphic. I'm going to get started here. I think in this case I'm going to do the roll method. Normally I use the standard array, which is 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, and 8. I think this time I'm going to try the 6 rolls of 4d6, drop the lowest. I'm going to try my luck. I've been getting good rolls lately. Let's see if I still have my luck. And there's a 14, so I'm going to drop the lowest, so that'll be a 13. There's a 20, so I already got a pretty good start. There's a 15, not bad. There is an 18, which is really decent. There's another 14. And a 9. You always got to have the weird roll. So I'm going to have to figure out where to place that 9. It's actually going to be an 8 because I have to drop the 1. So I'm going to put an 8 on something this druid probably won't need a lot of. That's going to be strength. She does not need to be a big, strong person to perform her duties as a druidess. So I'll put the 8 there. The next one is going to be a 16. I have to drop 2. So right off the bat, I think 16 on Dex or something along those lines. So 16 on Dex. That'll help with her armor class. So she won't have to wear much armor, and it'll be a good fit for her. Constitution. Let's see. I think I'm going to use, let's see, what do I want to use? Constitution, probably, let's see, this is going to be a 16, because I have to drop the 4. So there's your 16. Intelligence can probably be, let's see, 13. Wisdom, let's go with 17, because that's this one. I just dropped the 1. So wisdom's her main stat, and now charisma. So I had 2 18s, so this one was 17, this one was a 16. Use those. Okay, I got to use this 15. So I'm going to make her charisma 13. So there's her stat. 8, 16, 13, 10. I don't remember intelligence being 10. That was supposed to be 13. Okay. Wimpy human, yeah. Druid's wisdom con for most important. Yes, I agree. So we have con and wisdom. Now, why is con so low? I put 16 there. I think I made a mistake. So her con was supposed to be around there. What the heck did I do? I went with 18. Well, I did the 8. Then I went with a 16 con, which makes sense. Then I went with a 17 wisdom. Then I went with a 13 in intelligence and a 16 in con. Okay, there we go. All right, makes sense. Okay, so the next step is background. So you always do your ability scores first. Now, I want to pick a background for her that's going to kind of relate to her environment. She's usually hanging around forests and swamps, those sort of things. So let me go to the character area where it's actually background. There we go. So maybe I will make her something, maybe an Emerald Enclave agent. Yeah, so she might be an agent of the Emerald Enclave, which is like a bunch of dwarves, or excuse me, elves, and people that are into forests and those sort of things. That could be one thing. A faction agent, far traveler, maybe. Um, hermit is your kind of your generic thing. I kind of like the hermit background because it's kind of it's very fitting for those types. And then you have like a Zentarum agent, no. Urban bounty hunter, no. Yeah, I have to say maybe a Harper agent. That might be cool. Yeah, so I might make her a Harper agent. That would be kind of fun. So we'll see. Let's see what she gets. She gets insight and 1 intelligence, wisdom, or charisma skill of your choice, as appropriate to your faction. So I will drag that over. I'd probably put it in intelligence. So she gets 1 skill for being a Harper agent. So she has insight, and it says usually investigation. So I will do investigation. Does that make sense? So I will fix this by taking this off, or I'll make it turn it into something else later. But she gets insight and investigation for being an agent. And then I'm going to give her perception, I believe. Or let's see. Maybe religion. Yeah, let's do that. Actually, survival. That's good. So she has survival, insight, investigation. That works. Yeah, insight and one of these. Yep. And she gets 2 languages. She gets safe haven. Yeah, cool. So I'll put that aside for now. Hey guys. Nice seeing you guys. Yeah, I think it's a good fit too, Lady Phil. Let's see. So have that. Now I'm going to go to race. This case, it's going to be a human variant. So I go to races. And let's see, human variant. Now, human variant, you get to pick 2 skills to improve, but you also get a free feat at level 1. So right now, she doesn't have very good stats in strength, or her intelligence isn't that great. And even charisma could be better. So I think charisma for sure, and probably intelligence. I don't really care about her strength so much. She's not very strong. So, and now she gets one skill. So let me look at this. So I'm gonna want a skill that gives her something other than what a druid would give her. So maybe acrobatics or intimidation, no, perception probably, or stealth. There we go, stealth. So that's helpful. So that's cool. She's already got 5 skills already at level 1. Yeah, stealth is awesome. Okay, so yeah, with stealth she already has a +5 bonus. So that's good there. And now I have to pick a feat. So feats go up here on your abilities tab. And I'm going to pick one that's going to help her out. So I'm going to go to feats. Let's see, where are you at? Right here. So athlete, no. Bestial spellcaster. A wave of the claw, a series of canine yips, or even grinding chitinous plates together can serve as well as wagging fingers and magic words. If you create vocalizations or sounds of some sort which your race used to communicate, you may perform verbal components even if you are physically incapable of speaking the language. So you get to increase the stat. If you have appendages or something like that, you can still cast a spell, which may make her able to cast spells in her beast form. Never thought about that. That might be a cool thing. So a wave of a claw, a series of canine yips. You know what? I think that is cool. Bestial spellcaster. Yeah, I have it. I'm just looking up at the basics. Yeah, so bestial spellcaster is not a very common thing. It comes from the monstrous races. But this gives monstrous creatures, or in this case, beasts, an opportunity to do some magic fingers and magic words. So I think this is going to get around. She'll be able to cast spells in her animal form, which is really what I want. And then for the increase, I get a stat bonus increase. So probably, let's see, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. I could go with wisdom and put her at an 18. It's pretty damn high. I think I'm going to go with intelligence or charisma. I'm going to go with intelligence. So that'll help her out immensely on other types of rolls. So there we go. So she's now able to cast spells in animal form. That is sweet. Yeah, Matakure did this monstrous, and that's one of the feats that came with it. One's increased size. There's Mighty Breath, Natural Weapon Master, Powerful Flyer. There's some pretty cool feats, actually. Thick Hide. It's pretty cool stuff. So she got Bestial Spellcaster, which also gave her a stat bonus. So she's rocking the skills, ability. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so that's that. Now for the class and level. So go there. And I'm going to go to, let's see, races, I guess. confusing classes. So I'm going to go to classes and I'll grab Druid, Player's Handbook Druid. Now I get 2 skills. So these would be related to the class. So this is a Moon Druid. So nature, sure. Probably Arcana or Medicine. Probably Medicine, that seems to be more useful. Click there. Go. So she's got her skill. Now I'm going to level her up to level 2. Circle of the Moon. And now she's level 3. And now level 4. So she gets 2 points to level up on for her level 4. I think she's doing good across the board. So I'm just going to give her a 10 strength. So that'll just basically drop her into the normal range. So she's going to waste her improvements on those. So I've notated that here that I use +2 on strength. So that is basically what she has. And now for her final level. Okay, so she's 5th level now. Pretty sure it's 5,600 for XP. Yep, so she's got everything here. Very cool. So she has a feat, a skill, she got her armor. Druids do not wear armor or use shields made of metal. Herbalism kit, clubs, daggers, darts, javelins, maces, quarterstaffs, scimitars, sickles, slings, and spears. That's cool. Okay. So that's that. That's that. So she's going to be female. Probably going to be around 28, at least in appearance. Make her 5'6". £138. There's going to be neutral good. I haven't decided on our deity yet. Let's see. So we got her skills. I need to put her other skills. She has herbalism kit. So I'll put that down. Okay, so there's her herbalism. Let's see, yep, that. Oh, some languages. She knows Elvish, Sylvan, and probably Terran, or Primordial would be a good one. So she speaks the language of the elementals. She speaks Common, speaks Elvish, she speaks Sylvan. It's just some pretty good information. I like to include what level you did it to, so when you get 8, you know, okay. Yeah, so what she's saying is level 4. We pick +2 strength. And then circle forms, that covers her, basically her wild shapes. So we'll deal with that later. Juridic Language. So in order for this to work, you have to, as the DM, you have to add that language. So if you go to the option, go to languages, you can add Druidic as a language. So I did the and Thieves can. So I went ahead and added that. So she has Druidic by default for her bonus features. Okay, so inventory. So this should be fairly easy. I am going to give her 1 magic item and a couple potions. So I will do that now. So let's see. One of her trinkets is a bright green feather. She has a pouch. So she's going to have 2 potions. So the component pouch. That's for all her little knickknacks. I'm going to give the feather some weight, even though it's very, very light. 0.01. Let's see, what else? I have a rabbit's foot. And let's see. Now I'm going to open up parcels, drag over her standard equipment. So click all here, or actually just parcel. Yeah, it's already loaded. So she's a Harper agent. So grab Harper agent background. This is what she gets with that. So she'll have 2 pouches, which is fine. So drag this thing over, and it puts all this stuff in. So it's a parcel. So instead of being an item like a pack with some stuff in there, it's going to be a parcel with more stuff that comes with her background. This is a really handy module. And then the other is going to be your starting equipment. So that is going to be her main thing. Her rabbit's foot needs some weight. It's got a sprig of mistletoe, component pouch. Let's see. She has a backpack. Okay. So let's see. Common clothing. Right now I'm organizing. Okay, so there's that. So she has a scimitar and a shield. And she has a leather armor. So I'm going to actually get her a spear. It's going to be magical. Fuse spear, long spear. Maybe it'll just be a regular. A longer spear with half, still light enough to throw. So 1d10, heavy, reach, thrown, 2 hand. That's too much. I think I'll just get her a regular spear. Yeah, so she'll just have a spear, and I'm going to get her a sling. Here's a sling, and the sling bullets. Sling bullets go into her pouch. She's got quite an array of items to choose from. So that should be enough weaponry for her. What's nice is the scimitar is a finesse weapon, so that can use her dexterity. The shield is for, blocking and such, and it's wooden. The sling is just for long range. Spear is for medium range, for jabbing or keeping the distance. So there you go. So that's that. Now I'm going to see about that magical weapon. So I do have yeah, I don't have the DM guide loaded. So the DM's guide has a lot of Dungeon Master books in it. It has all the items, as treasure sort of stuff. So go back to item. So here's a +1 sling. It's interesting. Sling bullets. Oh, what? I think scimitar. So replace this one. Actually, better yet, +1 leather. Yeah, +1 leather. Way better choice. And then I will take the other leather, get rid of it. I will equip it and identify it. So that way, there we go. Now our armor class is 17. That's decent. So that was a much better choice. So 1+1 magic for a 5th level character is not too overpowered. And she has a couple potions. So that'll be that. Got inventory. Abilities are pretty much figured out. Skills are done. Okay, so now we're going to go to her notes. So roll or choose. So I like to choose these. I'm pretty picky. Does she idolizes a hero? No. Can find common ground. That might be her. She sees almonds in every action. We just need to listen. I like that. And I'm going to pick one more. Yeah. She always looks for the common ground. Ideal, tradition, charity, change, aspiration, faith, power, change, charity. I like aspiration. I seek to prove myself worthy of my God's favor by matching my actions against her teachings. That makes sense. Bonds. I would die to recover an ancient relic long ago. Someday get revenge. I owe my life. Everything I do is for the common people. I will do anything to protect the temple. I seek to preserve a sacred text. Okay, he does everything for common people. Her flaw. Judge others harshly and myself more severely. Too much trust. My piety. Inflexible. Suspicious. Once I pick a goal, I'm obsessed. I would say the first one. Judges people harshly. That's that. Okay, so that's that. So, no Adventure League stuff. Although I would put the Harper. Here's her weapons. So she's got one spear that she can throw. She has a sling and a scimitar. Let's see. That takes care of that. So we're getting there. We're getting closer to being done. Now, just an overview of what I have loaded. So I have in my library, I have the critically essentials module. So let me make sure I have that. So that's one click more. So I need the essentials. So this is really useful for a druid. There we go. So in order to use some of the features I have that I'm going to be putting on the character sheet, other than the spell, you need to have these extensions and their modules too. You get them on the DM's Guild. Critically essential one-click druid. This is a really good way to transform your character. And then one click more gives you more options. I have the Rob 2e coding effects. The item I used earlier was the 5e background and class equipment bundles. I'm also using the Vex coding for classes, feats, racial traits, and spells. And then the trinkets table is something you can use as well. I have all the core books loaded. I also have the comprehensive equipment manual and Face of the Forgotten Realms. And I also have Monstrous Races, Mordenkainen's Lost Notebook, and Southland Heroes. So those are the sources I have. So if you're wondering why you don't see these with the standard rules or the standard rulebooks, because they're add-ons. So I'll go ahead and close that. And now let's see. I guess I'm going to pick her skills and such. But first I'm going to make a new group on the character sheet. So I'm going to keep track of her consumable items. And then I need to add the herbalism kit to her inventory. Forgot about that. So inventory, let's see, is it already here? No. So herbalism kit. And that's going to go on. So that's going to pouch. So our little herbalism kit is in one of her pouches. That's that. Then, let's see. let's continue. So I'm going to click on the star. So this is going to be like her supplies. So these are consumable supplies. These are things that don't last forever, such as food, water, those sort of things. So that's that. So I'm going to label all these. There we go. So now I'm going to right click, or actually I'm going to change this to preparation. So she has all her stuff. And I'm going to change it to once, because these are one-time use. Now when I changed it to combat group, it shows usages. You can check them off as you go. They don't do anything to your inventory section, but they do keep track of things. I'm actually going to give her 2 things of water. Because 1 water skin is only a day's worth of water. So changing that to 2 isn't going to kill anything. Except for her if she only has 1. Let's see. So those are her supplies. Now I'm going to start getting into her actions. So these are going to be things other than just spells. So the first thing I'm going to do is her standard actions. And those are stored in Rob 2e's 5e effects coding class features. So I'm going to add this. I'm going to add the standard actions. So I'm going to make a new section. So the only ones I'm going to drag over here is dodge, help, hide, and ready. And I'm also going to make an auxiliary one because she has a shield, but if she uses her spear or something like that, two-handed, she won't be able to use her shield. So I'm going to make an effect called shield drop. So this allows her to remove her armor class bonus temporarily. So I'm going to add action, and I'm going to add the effect. So that makes this line down underneath shield drop. So shield drop colon AC, capital AC, semicolon, -2. And then it's going to be on self. So that is how you set up that effect. So what happened is when you're in the combat tracker, it will temporarily minus out your shield bonus if I choose to use the spear in a two-handed fashion. So it'll do a D8 instead of a D6. That's about the only time I'd have to use that, but it's there in case. I'm also going to add functionality to the potion. So right-click on the healing potion, add action, click on the add heal button, and it makes this line right there. I'm going to open the properties of it. I don't change any of these. And I'm going to right-click on this, click 2, drag it over, drop it, and put 2 in the bonus field. So now when I look at this, I have the function. So if I go to preparation, or excuse me, combat mode, actions, there's the heal button, there's the shield drop, and I'm going to give her a token right now. She doesn't really have one. She has a default portrait, but I made her a token. So here, double click on tokens. This is a PNG file, by the way. Let's see. There's her token. So now when I drag her to the combat tracker, she goes. I'm also going to put, I didn't give her a name. Leah Leaf Blower. That's going to be her temporary name. Leah Leaf Blower. Oh, jeez. Let's see. Yeah, so that's, see, her actions tab is done. Her supplies are ready to go. Oh, one thing you might want to do is here's the healing potion. You probably want to put a description in there for your players if they're kind of new. So I'm going to go to the healing potion description. Copy and paste this data. And the reason I did that is when you're on this back page and you want to read it, they'll have the description. That way they know what the heck it does. So I just took that right from the rules. Now I'm going to do the class features. So new group, clicking the star. So class features Druid. So now all I have to do is go down the list. So combat wild shape is something to get. Wild shape. Let's see, what else do I get? Circle the moon, combat wild shape. That lets you heal. So if you can use a bonus action to expend a spell slot to regain 1d8 hit points per level of the spell slot expended. So when you choose this at second level, when you gain the ability to use wild shape on your turn as a bonus action rather than as an action. So that's cool. So you can turn into a wild shape as a bonus action. And in addition, you can heal yourself if you want to spend one of your spell slots. So that's cool. So with the module that I have, I can now start picking my wild shapes. Normally, if this character has, let's see, do they get 2 wild shapes? Yeah, I think so. Maybe 3. So go to the Druid description. And this will basically give you how many wild shapes you get. She's 5th level. She gets 3 cantrips. And you read the wild shape description. You can do it twice, and it's a short or long rest. Yeah, so at 5th level, see 4th level, no flying speed. So you can get up to, normally you get up to a half of the CR, but when you're higher level like 5th, you'll get more stuff being circled. Let's see. So your proficiency is +3 overall. You get a total of, let's see, 5, 4, 2, so that's cool. Spell, circle the. So you specialize in wild shapes, basically. Changeable as the moon druid might prowl as a cat. So combat wild shape, circle form. Starting at 2nd level, you're able to use your wild shape, transform into beast with CR1. You can ignore the max CR column of the beast shapes table, but must abide by other limitations. So that's so we will 6 levels primal strike. So we don't do that. So let's grab the. Um, basically, I'm going to open the story entry. I'm going to filter it to one-click druid. This is the info. Then you have the moon druid info, which gives you what you get. So at level 4, I can pick any animals that have no flying. So I can do a swimming or a land animal or burrowing, but I still can't do flying. But it's CR1, so that's cool. So what I'm going to do is CR4, pick this level 4 here. So it's CR, level 4 druid, CR1, no flying. So this list is already made. So you have swimming creatures and land creatures. So this is an extended list. Then I need the other list, which gives you the other side of this, which is the other stuff. There's a constrictor wild snake, giant octopus, giant toad, reef shark, giant seahorse, crocodile. So I might pick a crocodile. Let's see. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to this. And I also need CR1 with level 2. So here's the other part of the list. So this one's no flying or swimming. The other one has the swimming. So I'm going to pick probably a dire wolf or brown bear or something. I think a brown bear makes sense. So I'm going to drop this in her class features. This is the actual animal wild shape. So brown bear, going to go in here. And I'm only going to give her a few. I'm not going to go through this whole list. She likes the riding horse to help people evacuate. Only in emergency, of course. And then she likes the giant centipede. It's got a poisonous bite. And then I'm going to give her one swimming animal. Let's go with the crocodile. So there's her 4 wild shapes. She can have more, but it gets ridiculous after a while. And if you can share these with your players so they can pick from the list. I usually give them 1 or 2 wild shapes per level, maybe 3 to start with. And then as they level, I let them grab 3 more just to keep a little bit of balance. And I don't want to have to deal with a bunch of different options. And this sheet gets too long. So there really is no limit. It's just based on what she's seen in the wild. But I try to give it some structure. So that's that. So she has a few wild shape. She has this heal feature, which is from the combat wild shape. If she does it at 2nd level, or so she can change it to a 2d8. just by right-clicking the dice, or she drops it. And then she has 2 uses of wild shape. That's what that keeps track of. This unconscious effect, it doesn't. I don't know why that's here. So and then this is self. Okay. And so is this wild shape. This should be self as well. Yeah, see, that should be on self. Okay. So there we go. So there we go on those. And now I'm going to, I guess I'm going to start adding the racial features, but there really isn't because she's a human variant. So she got a feat, and all that was the bestial spellcaster. And all this does is it lets her cast in beast form, which is kind of a DM decision because normally that cannot happen. But being that she wasted her racial feat on there, I'm going to make it so. And then I'm going to drag this over here just so she has a note. That way they can read this and they'll know what they receive. So even though it's not an effect, it lets the DM and the player know what they have. So that's that. So now I'm going to add spells. So she gets 3 cantrips. So I'm going to filter it. So level 0. Druid. So I'm going to do Druidcraft. And Infestation. And I also like, what's the other one I like? Guidance. So those are good for first level or cantrips. Now I'm going to go to our first level spells. So I have this selected. I have it filtered. Now instead of dragging everything onto her sheet, all I have to do is drag this drag list, which I have an extension loaded. It's called the Enhanced Spell Window extension. That adds all the spells from first level. Because essentially druids and cleric, they get that. Another thing is you make sure the spells are parsed. So when I click that, it changes it from 8 to 11. Or you can go like this and make sure this says wisdom, and that helps parse it as well. It usually sets it itself, but for some reason, there we go. So when you set it ahead of time, it will parse all the spells that have a DC saving. Yeah, see, it's all set now. So that's first level. So I'm just compressing them so that they won't be so compressed and or expanded. Now, second level, same thing. Go to here, drag the whole list. So all the second level ones dead. And now third level. Yeah, it's very helpful. Especially if you have a high level spellcaster. So now click here, it'll parse it. Go up here, make sure that's wisdom. And then the rest of them will parse. They should. Like right now it says DC 8. If you click the magnifying glass next to it, it'll parse to 14. So for some reason, sometimes the spells don't parse. Sometimes you just have to close the character sheet and it'll do it too. So I'll close the character sheet, then open it back up. Yeah, see some of these still are not parsed. Drives me nuts. Let me just manually switch this around. See if that does it. Yeah, so that helped. So now everything's parsed. So you're kind of forcing Fantasy Grounds to reparse and relook up the spells. So that's all I was doing. I wasn't trying to really change it. I was just trying to make sure all the DC values are set correctly. Once in a while you'll start playing and they'll be set at the base. For some reason it just does that. Never been able to put my finger on why it happens. So all the spells are there. Now when I want to learn them, so I have them compressed right now. So I go to preparation. I'm going to expand the first level spell. I'm only going to prepare some. So here's Cure Wounds, Animal Friendship, Fog Cloud, Fairy Fire, and Entangle. So those are cool spells. So now I'm going to go to level 2. I'm going to put on, let's see. I want Bark Skin. Actually, no. I want Flaming Sphere. That's always a popular one. Healing Spirit. And probably Moonbeam. Goes along with her theme. Skyright's interesting. So I'm just compressing spells now. Okay, so I've got my daily prepared there. Do a couple of these. So probably Speak with Plants and Dispel Magic. Sounds pretty helpful. So now, if I change the combat actions, yeah, so it has the spells that are here. So I keep it compressed until I need it. That way the sheet's not too long, too full. All right, so now to show you how this works. So right now, Leah is her standard form. I'm going to bring up a map. So I'm going to bring up see, what is this? Here's the Benmire Wood, one of my favorite. So this is a map pack made by Chris, Game Tile Warehouse. So if I go here, images and maps, and I'm going to pick one that's got a little bit of rim, so probably this one. That works. So it's a log dam or some kind of fallen tree. I'm going to right click on here. I'm going to click layers, set grid, and I'm going to set the grid at around 50. That should be plenty. And then I'm going to put Leah on the battle map. Leah Leaf Blower. So that's her. Now I'm going to resize the map so it fits this little small area I have. Right click on it, resize, go. So there's a vertical. All right. So now I'm going to put an enemy NPC on. So I'm going to bring out a hobgoblin. Matter of fact, two of them. I'm going to drag them onto the map. So they're guarding the road. They're basically up to no good. So Leah comes in, stop, going to roll a perception check. If she feels, a presence or something going on. She knows the forest well, so the birds are silent, so she's wondering what's going on. So I'm going to, put in her perception roll. She rolled a 13, that's pretty good. So let me look at the hobgoblins. So they don't have stealth, so it's not that. Let me roll for stealth just in case. So they're hiding, they rolled a 14, so they're hiding. She doesn't know they're there. So when she comes up to the log, she's considering jumping over or climbing up on it. The hobgoblins come out and they yell at her in Goblin. She doesn't speak Goblin, unfortunately. So this starts the combat round. So I'm just going to hit menu. Actually, they already have their initiative. So just double click here. She has her, she goes last. So Goblin number 1, he comes up here. He takes out his longbow, knocks the arrow, and casts this on her. And it goes winging over her shoulder. It missed. So he's really frustrated. Cursing the goblin. And the other hobgoblin actually jumps up on the log and takes, see if he makes it first. So he's going to roll athletics, which is based on strength. So he just has to roll a 10 or higher. Oops. So both rolls were over 10, so that's fine. So he hops up there and he swings at her. Now he has martial advantage, so what is that? Once per turn, he can deal an extra 7 damage if it hits with a weapon, and if that creature is within 5 feet of an ally of the hobgoblin. So he's not. This guy would have to be closer. So he's just going to do a regular attack. And that connects and hits her. Ouch. It's 7 points of damage. So immediately, Leah goes on the offensive and on her sheet, on her actions tab, she's going to cast her wild shape. I'm just going to put the note on it for here. And now she is going to turn into giant bear. So what it does, this is where the effect comes in. So Leah is got this token right here. And what it does is it changes her token to whatever wild shape she picks. So in this case, it's going to be a brown bear. So if I click on that, it switches her token to wild shape bear. And here are all the effects associated with it. So all the adjustments are made. And her sheet is parallel to that of the stat block. She has a strength of 19, a dex of 10, con of 16, so on and so forth. All the actions for the animal is on this page with her sheet here with the brown bear. So the brown bear, she's going to swat. So she gets multi-attack, I believe. Yep, she gets 1 bite and 1 claw. So she's going to take her claw and swat at him. So here's the attack roll. It's a cast button. So she hit the goblin. And now she's going to roll her claw damage. So that did 9 points of damage to him. So that tore him up. And now the follow-through bite. She rolled a 1. So she rolls off the log and falls here. And she's temporarily prone. So she lost her balance attacking the hobgoblin. She fell forward trying to bite him. So she is now prone. She's okay. So that's her turn. So hobgoblin number 1 takes out his long blade and attacks her. And he's able to hit. And he ends up doing 8 points of damage. Ouch. So Leah's hurting. So she's already got 9 wounds and 34 hit points for being bear. So that's what's happening. So now he ends up moving over here. So he's still in range. That's his turn. So this guy, almost dead wounded, ends up trying to take his blade with 2 hands and drive it down on her. So he takes this. Now keep track, because once she dies, she'll revert back. So he's able to hit as well, because she's on her back and she rolled down. And she got 5 points of damage on her, which is really rough. So she's getting hurt pretty bad. So now it's her turn. She spends the rest of the round getting up, and she makes her attacks. So the first attack is going to go towards her first opponent, which is the hobgoblin. So she's going to try to bite him. Hobgoblin number 2. So on her actions tab, here's the attack roll. She missed. That's because she was prone. So I need to remove that. But she still missed regardless. She dropped a 9. I don't think that hit. And then she's going to follow through with a claw attack. So let's see what happens. So claw attack is here. This time she missed it again, so she's not doing so great. So hobgoblin number 1, which is this guy here, I believe. Yep. Yep, that's this guy. He's going to take another swing at her. And he hit. Ouch. So she has heavy damage on her. Hobgoblin is done with his turn. The other one that was wounded is going to try to move closer to his companion. And this way he gets martial advantage. So I'm going to click this, drag it onto him so he gets an extra 2d6 on damage. And he's going to attack with his longsword, two-handed. Oh, he connected. This is going to hurt. So he just goes into a full fury, full strength. He has a two-handed attack. Oof. So Leah Leafblower has now returned back to her normal shape. The bleed through damage is still there. It's 7 points. And yeah, so that's how that works. So now she's back into her regular form. So she could go into one more wild shape, or she could just try to flee, whatever. But that's how that works. So you have to set it up. You have to install it. There's an extension and a module. And then in the library, you have to share the one-click Druid module with your player. And then when you go into story mode, you can share the list of creatures that they get. So you can share this with your player and then just drag it over and drop it on their portrait. So if you have a Druid player, that's what you would do. So instead of using the NPC stat block for a bear, you can actually just use these effects. So let's say she wanted to turn into a riding horse on her turn. So if I click on the effect, there's the riding horse. But then I also have to check off wild shape, because she's done with her wild shape for the time being. And she's going to take off. She's going to disengage. So in order to reflect that, she can move as a horse 60 feet. So she can really take off. These guys couldn't catch her. The only thing they could potentially do is shoot at her with the bow. So let's see what happens. Goblin 1 takes his bow, aims it, targets her, does an attack. He rolled a 1, so he dropped his bow. Probably hurt himself a little bit. He's the one that's also wounded. Or no, the other guy is. The other guy does the same thing, follows suit. He rolled a 4, so she got away. So that was cool. So basically, that's how that. And then once she gets to safety, she will do a short rest. So menu, rest, short rest. That restores her wild shapes. And then she can use her recovery hit die, in which gave her 5 points back. In this case, it said she wasn't wounded, so she didn't have to waste it. But there she is. She's back. I don't know why she has 13 hit points, but nonetheless, she should be back to her normal self. So that is that. Oh, it's because of the horse. She's still in horse form. That's why. No, anyhow, that would have actually gone away. So if you have to remove the wild shape, you can do it manually, like that. Now I would apply this to her. Now she has a wound. So that was a 5. So I can just drag this to her. Should be able to drag this over to her. Oh, that's because she wasn't wounded at the time. Okay. Anyways, so she gets 5. So she only has 2 wounds. now. So that's how that would run. Anyhow, I hope that helps. Hope you guys learned a little something. That is how the one-click Druid Essentials works. And that is also how you build a level 5 Human Variant Circle of the Moon Druid. Normally, this person couldn't cast spells, but I gave them that feat, so I might allow that in my campaign. We'll see how OP it is. But if she was able to cast spells, she could do so. Anyhow, I will talk to you guys later. Happy gaming. Hope to see you around the community. And hopefully that helps you with that sort of special build. Anyhow, you take care. Um, this will be the end of the stream for today. And I'll talk to you next time. Happy gaming.